All right, guys. So I'll put the pictures in if I can do that. But I went and measured my my sliding doors upstairs, closet doors. I measured the finished framing. Okay, the framing was 48 and a quarter wide across the top. Okay, because the metal rail that you install is 48 inches. So when you buy the door, it's 48 inches on that metal rail, but you want an extra quarter inch of space. You don't want to be fighting it, especially after you've put a layer of paint in there. You don't want to be pushing the metal rail up. You're going to scrape all the paint off, right? So extra quarter of an inch width, and the height was 81 inches. Okay, so as we saw in there, I had about 82 and a bit. So I just have enough to work with there. I could have made it a slightly bigger on the rough opening. I'm just looking at the rough opening. So yeah, there's the thing. So what I have here, I'll show you guys. What I've done is I measured up 81 inches. Okay, that's the bottom side. That's the bottom of the frame, the trimmed frame out. Okay, like the actual trim. Okay, I put an 81 on both sides because, again, from the concrete up, it's going to be different heights. Okay, so now what I've done is I have this laser. Okay, it's magnetic, so it sticks. So it's sticking there because I use metal corner bead. Okay, and it's got these magnets on the back. They're pretty handy. Okay, so I magnetize it to that corner bead. Be careful you don't drop it. If you have tile or something, you don't want to have it fall off and break your tile or something. So I can turn it on here, and you can see it shoots a beam over there. Okay, so I'll zoom in here. Okay, so I want to try to get that beam to shoot at the 81-inch mark. All right, so I'm with my hand here. I'm pulling this down. Zoom out here. Yeah, I'm just moving this up and down, keeping it magnetized, and trying to shoot it so it lands right on that 81-inch mark on the door frame there. Okay, that looks pretty close there. All right, so we got that laser shooting right at 81. And now I can check and see, is that 81 level with this 81? Okay, and you can see the laser is a little lower here than there. Okay, so what that means is I actually want to move the laser. I need at least 81 to make that door work, right? So what I'll do is I'll move this laser up until it hits this mark, because that way I know the lowest point of the door is at least 81, okay? By going on this side. It'll be higher on this one, okay? It'll move up on this one, but that's okay. I need at least 81. I don't want to have it in line with this 81 on this concrete, and then this one actually be lower, okay? So I'm gonna move that up. I'll move that up slightly. All right, I'll check that out. And yeah, I still have to go up a bit. I should get a square on it, actually. It's pretty close, but I'll move up a little bit. But really, I should have a square on there. I'll probably check it with a square after I stop recording here, but yeah, I'll move that up a bit. I'll check it again. Yeah, it's pretty good right there. It still could go up. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a square, put it on here, and make sure that it lines right up with that. But yeah, I can still go up a hair there. I'll do it right now, actually. What else have you guys got to do? You're bored at this point, right? You sit here and watch me move a laser for an hour and a half. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that one. So, see if I find a square. And what I'll do is, provided that is right on the mark, what I'll do now is I'll put a mark here saying level. Okay, so I know that's 81 on this side, but it's also level. And then what I'll do is I'll do a mark over here on the laser. Okay, and that's level. Okay, so now I know, yeah, this is 81 from the ground, but this is actually where I want my top of my frame to sit, the bottom of the top of my frame to sit, okay? Because that means the top of this door frame will be level, dead level on that laser mark, okay? I hope that makes sense. If not, post questions to me, or maybe I'll do a live feed or something where I can talk to you guys. But yeah, that's level, okay? Okay. Square, right? Yeah, you can see that. So I'm actually going to go up the stairs for a second to do this. Alright. Hey. Oh jeez, my head's in the way of the laser. So, not harm. Trim's going to cover this, so I can put a little mark right there on the laser. And I put the square on here. Actually, I probably should have done this from the get-go. And just moved up. Yeah, that would have made more sense. I could have just put a pencil mark across here and onto the drywall there. Right, that's my laser mark. I'll get my head out of the way and see if it's on there. So it's actually a little high. You can't see that from back there, but just a tiny bit high. So I'll move that down a hair. Check that out. As boring as that is. Okay. So yeah, that's good. Right on that mark. And that moves my other mark over there down. I'll check that out. Okay, so. It's over there. This thing wobbles like crazy. You guys don't get motion sick. Okay, so my mark over here moved down a little bit because I moved the laser down. So I'll just scribble that one out and ignore it for now. Set a new one. That's dead level. Okay, so I can put an L for level. You put whatever you want, so you just remember, right? Doesn't matter. So I'm thinking as I go here. So if I pause and stuff. Okay, so what I can do now is, I know that my top frame is going to be sitting right there, okay? The material I purchased is 3/4 of an inch thick, so that would be the bottom of it. Maybe a stool or something. That would be the bottom of it, and I have 1 1/4 inches to spare, so I'm good there, because it would be bad if I didn't have enough to get that 3/4 inch piece of material in there, obviously. Okay, so what I want to do is, I'll put a mark from 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch up, okay? Okay, I'm just doing this for your visual purposes, really, guys. Maybe I should use this square here. Okay, so, I just want you guys to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so, that's the top of my frame, okay? That's the bottom of the frame. Okay, so you can see this is where the material at the top is going to sit. Okay, it's going to come right across here and be dead level. So the benefit to me marking it out like this is now I can measure from that laser down to the concrete. Okay, or don't measure the concrete if you haven't put the flooring in. Okay, my flooring's in. So I'm actually measuring to the flooring. Okay. Alright. Measure to the flooring. And that'll tell me exactly what this side piece needs to be cut. Because in my door frame I'm going to have the top, okay, and then I'll have 2 sides. Now if you're on a normal house, if you're in a normal house, floor, not a basement, the floor is going to be level, especially if I built it, right? But if you built the house properly, it's dead level. So what you can do is you're going to have the top of the doorway, and then you have the 2 sides. Now those 2 sides on the first floor, second floor of a framed wood house, you just make them the exact same, because there's not going to be enough difference between the left side and the right side to justify you needing to worry about that. Okay, But again, being that it's a concrete basement floor down here, I think we're about a 1/4 inch or more different. So if I made both sides the same, I have two options. Well, not really. I have one option. Well, no, I have two options. Okay. So your two options. One, if I put them both tight to the ground, then the top of my doorway is going to be out of level, right? Okay. Or I can make the one side, the low side, tight to the ground, and the other side I would have to lift up off the ground to make it level. I hope that makes sense. So if I lift that side up off the ground, at the bottom of my trim, okay, it's going to be up off the ground a bit. You can do that. I prefer not to. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably will cut these a little short because I don't like them touching right down to the ground. I'll probably, because it's MDF, and MDF doesn't like moisture that much, so I'll probably take off 1/8 of an inch, and I'll find 1/8 of an inch shim, and I'll keep both of them off the ground, just a hair. But the point that I'm trying to get to is if your concrete's way out, and you cut both left and right side of your door frame the same length, and it's say 3/4 of an inch out, well, the one's going to be tight to the ground, and the other one's going to be up off the ground 3/4 of an inch, and you're going to see that, okay? So that's why you want to check this with the laser, just to see where you're at. If it turns out that it's only 1/8 of an inch out, man, who cares? Then just cut them both the same and save yourself the hassle. But I'm picky, right? In case you guys didn't know that yet. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to measure up to here. I'm 81 1/4. Okay, so I actually, like I said, I want to keep that. I want to keep my door frame just a hair off the ground, just to keep it off the cold concrete or the in this case it's like a vinyl flooring, okay, just to keep it away from the moisture and it won't swell and soak up any moisture. So I'm gonna keep it up just a bit. So I'm 81 1/8 heavy, so that's 3/16. Okay, so I'm gonna go 81 1/8. Okay, this side's 81 1/16, or you could say 81 heavy if you just want to. That's what I've been doing. You guys might have heard me say that already. So now I've written that there just so I know. Okay, 81 1/16, 81 heavy. Okay, I'll put it back to this side. Okay, this isn't wiggling too much. Okay, so now I'll check this one, right? And we are. Oh, it was 81, because that's what we started with, right? Jeez, I think I remember that. So we're just going to take off the 1/8 that we took off the other side. So 80 7/8, okay? And 7/8. Now, don't forget that we're still going to end up with 81 at the end. Remember, I said that was the most important thing. I want to have 81 at the end for the height. Okay, we're still going to have that because I'm going to keep the bottom of this frame up 1/8 of an inch off the ground, just to give us a little bit of breathing room. So we'll still be at 81, but I'm going to cut it 80 7/8 to give us that breathing room. Okay, so now I know the length of my left and right side, and I can cut those outside.